Good morning, friend, and welcome back to my channel. It is currently 6 o'clock and I am going to go out on a quick walk. Now, my walks sometimes turn into jogs, sometimes they stay walks. It just kind of depends on the day. So we're just gonna let this walk take us where it will. It is supposed to be raining for the next 2 days. And so I am up because this is the 1 hour gap we have in the next 2 days with all of the rain. So I'm gonna take advantage of it, get a little movement in. I'm just gonna go head up our dirt road and see where it takes me. I really no pressure on this. I just love to get a little bit of movement, especially when the weather is gonna be crummy for the next few days. Sometimes I tend to feel cooped up. And Sam had an early morning start, so I figured I might as well get up with him. That way we're always on the same sleep schedule. So I am going to head out, go get a little walk in before this rain comes, and then we will get going on this day in our life. All right, we are back from that walk. It was good. I kind of felt like I was doing a cold plunge. I wouldn't say I was overly dressed for that. It was a little bit windy and the rain started up again. So honestly, it was kind of nice, refreshing. It's currently 6:43. So I was out there for about 40 minutes, which was awesome. We as in Arrow and I went together and we got a little jog in. So honestly, what a great way to start the morning. I can tell the rain is coming back in. I can see it out the window. So I'm glad we got some steps in, got a little movement before we are cooped up. Obviously, I can always go into town and go to the gym or go walk the mall, but I have this right here. It's a 30-minute drive. So if I can just get it done out here and enjoy the beautiful weather, I didn't have any music in. I was just listening to the birds and just kind of appreciating the scenery around me. And I know in the dead of winter, I would have killed to be able to do this. So I really just appreciated it. What I'm gonna do is I am going to enjoy my cup of coffee. I started recently using this Chobani coffee creamer. And if you're a coffee creamer kind of person, this one's definitely a lot better for you. The ingredients are milk, cream, sugar, natural flavors, and vanilla. So it's a lot better for you than a lot of the others. So I definitely recommend you giving this a try. They have a lot of different flavors. I really like the vanilla one. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. We need to get the dogs fed. Arrow went on the walk with me. And Moose is currently in a cone, so he just had surgery. He's totally fine, but he was not able to go on this walk because I can't give him a bath, so he couldn't get muddy. I am going to get the dogs fed. We're gonna get the dishwasher unloaded, get some laundry in. I'm gonna take a shower, get ready for the day, and we will be online and ready to go by 8 o'clock for work. Sit. Go ahead. Dishwasher is unloaded. I'm still working on my coffee. I will probably heat this up a couple times throughout the morning. I just sip on it as I go, and normally I'll be done with it around like 10. So I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day. I like iced coffee, so once it cools down, I'll either drink it cold, or if I'm not feeling it, I will reheat it once. So works for me. Next thing I need to do is go get the laundry in. I just am washing a comforter, so nothing crazy today. I need to go get that put in, and then I am gonna go take a shower, get ready. It is 6:50, so gives us the perfect amount of time to be able to get that in, get a shower. I'm gonna make a little bit of breakfast, I think. I'm not hungry yet, but I think at that point I will be. So we'll make a little breakfast and then be ready to go for work. I'm gonna go get that comforter in the washing machine, jump in the shower, and I will see you when we're ready for some breakfast. All right, I am back from my shower, and I don't know if you can tell, but it is cold and dreary and windy and just not great outside. So I'm glad we got outside when we did. I am gonna go ahead and get going on my breakfast. Now I'm not super hungry still. So what I'm thinking is I'm just gonna scramble up 2 eggs and cut up an apple. And I think that's gonna be it. I'm just not super hungry, but I know if I don't eat now, then at like 10 o'clock I'll be hungry and I have calls. So I'm just gonna make a quick little egg scramble with literally nothing in it, just eggs, and then I cut up an apple, and we're gonna call that breakfast. Okay, I was just actually looking in the refrigerator and I forgot I had cut up some strawberries. So we're gonna have that instead of an apple. So I'm just gonna whisk together 2 eggs. We'll get that pan heated up behind me. And then I'm just going to add some pepper and a little bit of milk. And I like to cook my scrambled eggs pretty low and slow. I find that they are the most moist that way, and I add salt in at the very end of the cooking process. All right, here's my breakfast, eggs and hot sauce and some strawberries, and then I'm gonna enjoy my water. I'm gonna head to work. I just like to eat this while I get caught up on my morning emails, and I will catch you all for lunchtime. All right, friends, this lunch couldn't be any easier. About once a week, I like to make these jars, and they are basically a meal in a jar. That way, when lunchtime rolls around, I have this big, healthy, nutrient-dense lunch that I can just pick on throughout the day. So it's right at 12 o'clock, and I'm ready for lunch. So in here, I have spinach, quinoa, cilantro, tomato, bell pepper, mango, chickpeas, red onions, carrots, cucumbers, and a balsamic dressing. It's just balsamic, oil, honey, salt and pepper. That's it. And I just stack them up from their hardiness levels. So I did the dressing, then I did carrots, cucumbers, onions, then the chickpeas, the bell peppers, mangoes, cilantro, tomatoes, the quinoa, and then the spinach on top. And then all I do is I just dump that into a bowl. You can top it with cheese if you want. I prefer to not. If you do that, I would definitely recommend you put the cheese on after the fact. Don't put the cheese in the container. Okay, and here is that super colorful, yummy lunch. And when I want to change it up a little bit, I will eat it on crackers. I'll eat it as a wrap. I will do like tortilla chips. I'll eat it just as is like this with a spoon, which is what I'm gonna do today. You can change the dressings, you can change what's in it. I was thinking next week I want to do like a Chinese chicken salad type feel. So yeah, you can change the proteins. It's so easy. These are very versatile and you can change them up. So this is what I eat at home when I don't have leftovers, but if I was in an office, I would do this exact same thing, so it makes it very easy. I'm looking outside. It's currently snowing and it is May 6th, so that's wild. Okay. I'm gonna go enjoy my lunch. I have a very busy day today, so I'm just gonna keep working while I eat my lunch. I tend to do that. Sometimes my lunch will last me like 2 hours, just because I kind of peck throughout the day. I like to do it that way. It keeps me from getting too full, but I also get a lot of nutrients in. So I'm gonna go eat this, keep working, and I will catch you when we are done with work for the day. All right, friend, so we are going to head into town. I have 2 things I need to do. The first is I have a Sam's Club pickup I need to do. There's a few just bigger items I needed to pick up. So I'm gonna grab that. I just did a pickup, so I will show you what we got when we get home. And then I also need to swing by the feed store and pick up some new mineral. We got the goats a different mineral than normal and it looks like it's upsetting their stomachs. I need to go to the other feed store and pick up their usual mineral. That way we can make sure they're nice and healthy. I like to make sure they have their minerals and supplements and vitamins and everything when there's inclement weather or weather they're not used to, because it's so rainy. We never get rain, so I want to make sure that they have everything that they need. All right, friends, I am back from town. I got everything that I needed. It was a pretty small little haul from Sam's Club, but I figured while I was needing to run in to get the mineral, I might as well make it a little bit more purposeful, and so do a little bit of a larger grocery haul as well. Let's run through everything we got. First thing I have is the mineral that I needed, so this will go out to the barn, but I'm glad I could finally get some of this. The other store, feed store that we go to doesn't carry that, so I had to go to Menards to actually get that. Then I got some organic maple syrup. This is a grade A dark. We finally used up all of our maple syrup, so I'm happy to have some more of that. Then I got just some extra virgin olive oil. We are out of olive oil, so that will never do. Then for a snack, I got these Yogi's lemon and berry medley trail mixers. So I've had the Yogi's before, and they're just the Yogi's. They're basically a fruit, it's like a fruit leather square. It's not a gummy or anything. It's like fruit leather square dipped in yogurt. But now they have trail mix, so I wanted to try this. We loved the Yogi's, the strawberry Yogi's, so we'll see how we like these. Then I got some 7 Sundays granola, and this is just a convenience item with gardening season coming up. I like to take healthy shortcuts where I can, so what I like about this is the sodium levels are 0. A lot of granola has crazy amounts of salt, and the ingredients in this is just almond, coconut, sunflower seeds, dates, pecans, pumpkin seeds, coconut oil, flax, chia, strawberries, bananas, and vanilla. That's it. No added sugar, no gluten, no GMOs, so it's a nice and healthy choice. So when I'm not making my own, I like to go with a good, clean option. Then I also got some lemons, and we're actually going to do a fun little project with these in just a little bit. Then I also got some diced tomatoes. We are out of our tomatoes from the garden, so I needed to pick up these because it's going to be a while until we can get them. And what I like about these is it's field to can in 5 hours. So we know that these are pretty fresh when they are processed. And then finally, some green bell peppers. These I like to just cut up and have them in the freezer. They're perfect for fajitas or whatever we want to make. So I'm going to get these cut up and just thrown into the freezer. Then in our second box, I got these Just Bare chicken breaded strips. These are so, so good. We've only had the nuggets before. I wanted to try the patties, but Sam's Club didn't have them, so I got these instead. They are very good and pretty healthy when it comes to like a chicken nugget. Then I also just got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I like to just have these for the freezer. And they do come in kind of these 4-packs, so I'll just separate them and freeze them, and then we have 4 separate meals. These were $14, so when you divide that by 4 meals, it's like a little over $3.50 a meal, so that's pretty cheap for chicken. I got some non-fat Greek yogurt. I like to have this in the morning with the granola, obviously, and some fruit. And then I just got some Baby Bell cheeses. That's it. I'm gonna get this all put away. I don't think I'll process the peppers today. We'll see. I think I'm gonna try one of those Yogis because they're calling my name. And then I think let's get going on dinner. So tonight for dinner, we're gonna be having a ramen. I made some chicken broth the other day, so I wanna use that nice broth for a warm bowl of ramen. And then we're gonna get going on our lemon project as well. So let's get going. Okay, friend, so we are having a little last minute adjustment. So Sam just let me know that we're gonna have someone over for dinner last minute. So I don't have enough ramen for everyone, but I do have freezer meals. So I went ahead and pulled out a lasagna that we had made together, and we're just gonna do a freezer meal lasagna for dinner instead, which is absolutely perfect. That's exactly why I do what I do. We're gonna get that that is currently in the oven. And I was thinking when we were so a couple weeks ago, we went on a float trip in Montana, and it was a 4-day trip. And I was thinking the whole time we brought water with us, it was perfect, but I love having lemon in my water. And I was thinking, what a great gift that would be to freeze dry lemon slices and put them in a jar. And that way when people are backpacking or on the road or whatnot, they can take a freeze-dried lemon and stick it in their bottle of water and have lemon water anytime they want. So I'm gonna try freeze-drying lemons and seeing how that goes. I've never done this before. I haven't even looked up to see if it's possible. We're just gonna trial and error it. I am just taking my lemons, laying them out on the sheet, like so, and I should probably take the seeds out because I don't think those will dry very well. And I'm gonna see, this is my project for today, I'm gonna see how lemons freeze dry. Wouldn't that be cool if you just had this freeze dried? I've seen lemons dehydrated before. My friend used to wear earrings of dehydrated lemons, and they were actually really pretty. But I want to just see that if we can freeze dry this and then just like keep them in the pantry, and then when we go backpacking or road tripping or are in a rush or don't have lemons, we can just pull out a lemon slice and stick it in our water. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these lemons sliced up and into the freeze dryer. I do have that lasagna currently in the oven, so that's cooking away. And this is gonna turn out great. Okay, our chamber is cool. This is what it looks like. If I had more lemons, I could have compacted these a lot more and made a lot more space, but I didn't need to. We're just gonna stick these into the freeze dryer. So it is the next day, and as promised, we are getting around to our ramen. So first thing I wanted to do was just get the chicken all grilled up. So I basically just seared it on both sides, and then I am going to pop it in the oven to finish the cooking. I find that this keeps it so moist and delicious. I'm just using boneless, skinless chicken thigh. I find that that works best for ramen just because there's a little bit of fat, not too much, and it just keeps it nice and moist, and it's so yummy. I'm just topping it with some of this everything seasoning from Hush. I absolutely love it. And then this is the broth that I had made the previous day, so I'm just pouring that in. You can see I'm reserving some of the fat. I ended up using this later when I was cooking, but I didn't want a super greasy ramen, so I reserved some of that fat out. Here you can see my chicken was ready to flip, so I flipped it on both sides and let that cook for a couple of minutes. Then I am just popping it in that oven. And what I should have done is heated up the garlic and ginger before I got to putting the broth in the pot, but I forgot to. So here I'm just toasting up garlic, ginger, and then once that was toasted, I'm adding in about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I used 2 tablespoons of sherry wine. You're supposed to use mirin, but I did not have any of that, so I used sherry, and it turned out so yummy. So I'm just cooking all of those things down, and then I added in the mushrooms. Once that was cooked and ready to go, I did transfer that over into the broth and let those flavors combine, but this worked out just fine. It was just one extra dish that I had to do that I was not meaning to. Then the last thing I needed to do for this dish was hard boil or medium boil some eggs. So I like to just steam my eggs. For farm fresh, I find that this works best and it makes it really easy to peel. So all you do is you just put about 1 inch of water in the bottom of a pan, let it come up to a boil in a steam basket, put your eggs in, and then for a medium boil, I steamed mine for 10 minutes, then remove it, put it in an ice bath, and it is the easiest thing to peel. Then I'm just going ahead and slicing up my chicken. I let that rest for a couple of minutes so that it was manageable and didn't burn me. So I have that all prepped. I'm going to peel my eggs, and you can see here just how easy they are to peel when you steam them versus boil them. I promise you, if you have farm fresh eggs that are really hard to peel, you have to give this a try and let me know if it works. I've been doing this for years, and it is 1,000,000 times better than boiling the eggs. If you're doing a hard boiled egg, I recommend steaming it for about 12 minutes or so. That works really well. So then once I have this prepped, I just need to get the noodles cooked. That was super easy, took only about 3 minutes. Honestly, this dinner came together very quickly. I didn't do it the smartest way. I had a good amount of pans to clean at the end of it, but it was so worth it and so good. So here I'm just serving up Sam's bowl. I gave him a good amount of noodles. Then I'm going to top those noodles with some of that yummy broth and the mushrooms just so that there's that nice balance between everything. Then I'm going to top it with some of our chicken along with our medium boiled eggs with that not soft innard but not completely hard innard. Then I do have some onions that are started under our grow lights here in the house, so I just chop the tops off of those onions and use them as scallions. Since I obviously don't have any of those, that worked great. And then I'm going to top this ramen off with a little bit of chili oil. And I had never made ramen before. I must say this was a huge success. It was so yummy, super easy, and just so comforting. I want to keep this on the rotation for the winter. Sometimes I struggle finding cozy meals. So this is definitely one that will be going on the rotation for that. Sam did end up putting a little bit more sriracha on top, and that was it. There was our dinner. Then this evening, our lemons were also done in the freeze dryer. So you can see here how perfectly they freeze dried. I did want to show you how I can reconstitute them, and I have tested them a couple of times now in my water, and they reconstitute back into the perfect lemon. You wouldn't even know they were freeze dried. The only hard part is they do float, obviously, after they're freeze dried. So keeping them in the water was a bit of a challenge, but here that is. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you in the next one.